is 1976. The American merchant vessel Petrox Explorer has just set sail from the port of Surabaya in search of oil. What they find will shock the world.
We may be sailing into the history books.
She's alive!
You know, maybe my luck has changed.
They will discover an uncharted island that is the home of the most incredible creature on the face of the earth. A creature called Kong. Dino De Laurentiis presents the most exciting, original motion picture event of all time. King Kong. King Kong, a fantastic adventure. Open the gate! King Kong. King Kong, unlike anything you've ever experienced before. With Jeff Bridges, Charles Grodin, and introducing Jessica Lange as the beauty who charmed the beast. And starring the eighth wonder of the world, King Kong.
Somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now. 20th Century Fox and George Lucas, the man who brought you American Graffiti, now bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet. Star Wars.
Here they come! Coming in too fast!
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe. It's a big, sprawling space saga of rebellion and romance. It's a spectacle, light years ahead of its time.
I am C-3PO, human-cyborg relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Hello. No sauces! No sauces!
It's an epic of heroes.
Good luck!
And villains. And aliens from 1,000 worlds. Years in the making. Star Wars.
For generations, the Thorns have been a family of tremendous wealth, position, and power. The perfect marriage of Ambassador Robert Thorne and his wife Catherine was fulfilled by the birth of their son, Damien. And then, when the child was 5 years old, something terrible happened. And then it happened again. Was it an accident? Was it murder? Was it a coincidence? Or was it an omen?
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
20th Century Fox presents a film of psychological suspense about an occurrence of earth-shaking importance. Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, The Omen.
I was at the hospital, Mr. Thorne, the night your son was born. I saw its mother. I saw its mother.
I have fears. I have fears.
What kind of fears? Its mother, Mr. Thorne.
You saw my wife.
Its mother.
What is it you're trying to say?
His mother was a...
This is not a human child. Make no mistake.
There are those who will die for him. There are those who will kill for him. Who is he? What does he want? Where did he come from? And can he be stopped? Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, The Omen. If this is the truth, where does it end?
The Jews return to Zion, and a comet fills the sky. The Holy Roman Empire rises, and you and I must die.
For everything known, there is something unknown.
On this night, Mr. Thorne, God has given you a son.
For every blessing, there is a curse.
I was at the hospital the night your son was born. I witnessed the birth.
For everything holy, there is something unholy.
What do you know about my son?
Everything.
For every evil, there is an omen. 20th Century Fox presents The Omen, starring Gregory Peck and Lee Remick.
I need to see a psychiatrist. I have fears. I have such fears.
What kind of fears? What kind?
Oh, if I told you, you'd put me away.
It is a mystery beyond human solution.
No, no!
This is not a human child.
It is suspense beyond human tolerance.
Have no fear, little one. I am here to protect thee.
It is a warning mankind has feared for thousands of years. It is The Omen.
From the eternal sea, he rises, creating armies on either shore, turning man against his brother till man exists no more.
If you believe in good, you must believe in evil. If you believe in heaven, you must believe in hell. If you believe in the beginning of the world, you must believe in the end of the world. You must believe in The Omen.
It's the night of the senior prom. The Bates High School gym is alive with excitement. Everybody is there, even Carrie White. The girl no one likes.
We're all sorry about this incident, Cassie.
It's Carrie!
And everyone makes fun of her. The girl who lives in that creepy house with her crazy mother.
Help the sinning woman see the sin of her days and ways. Show her that if she had remained sinless, the curse of blood would never have come on her.
The girl with the strange power.
If I concentrate hard enough, I can move things.
But tonight, no one will laugh at Carrie.
If you don't have a date for the prom next Friday, would you like to go with me?
She's with the best-looking boy in the senior class.
He's trying to trick me again.
She'll be voted queen of the prom.
You know, I can make sure that you don't hurt Carrie White anymore.
For Carrie, it will be a dream come true. For everyone else, it will be a nightmare. Carrie. A new film by Brian De Palma. Based on the chilling bestseller. Starring Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie, and introducing John Travolta in his first motion picture role. If you have a taste for terror, you have a date with Carrie.
Just imagine a world where you will hold your entire future in the palm of your hand, when a tiny glowing crystal will guide you through an existence in which each day is more wonderful than the last, where it will be possible for you to obtain the fulfillment of every fantasy, the satisfaction of every vanity, the absolute attainment of every wish.
Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer presents the Saul David production of Logan's Run. A fantastic journey through a world beyond imagination. Welcome to the 23rd century. The perfect world of total pleasure. Imagine a world in which you need never be alone. You touch a switch, turn a dial, and the perfect lover steps into your arms. Every pleasure is yours to experience.
Runner!
There's just one catch.
When the tiny crystal in the palm of your hand flashes its final message, your time is up. Michael York is Logan.
Run, Logan!
Policeman in a perfect world.
No!
Trained to track down runners.
Run, Logan!
Until he is forced to run himself.
He's a runner!
Logan! I'm your friend, I understand. We all go crazy once in a while. But she's a runner, and it's over.
Overwhelming, am I not?
Box, an incredible being. More than human, more than machine. Diabolical guardian of the gateway to freedom. For Logan and the woman who loves him.
Terminator.
I've never seen a face like that before. That must be the look of being old.
MGM takes you into a new age of adventure in the first motion picture of the 23rd century. Logan's Run. It begins where imagination ends.
In 1972, Delos was open to the public. It consisted of 3 fantastic vacation resorts: Roman World, Medieval World, and Westworld. It was a computerized paradise where nothing could go wrong. But something did. Now, in 1976, Delos is about to reopen.
We have invested more than $1.5 billion to rebuild our equipment.
Its problems have been corrected.
We have replaced every circuit.
Its technology has been perfected.
The new Delos is not only the most fantastic resort in human history, it is also fail-safe.
And an incredible new world has been created. American International presents Future World, starring Peter Fonda, Blythe Danner, Arthur Hill, and Yul Brynner as the gunslinger.
Program the blast-off sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Welcome to Future World, the ultimate vacation resort, fully programmed for your pleasure, where for only $1,200 per day, you can experience anything you can imagine. And a few things you can't.
My knight to your pawn.
Prepare the Martian ski sequence for 5 guests and return power to grid 3.
Future world, where every day is an exciting new adventure, where your fantasies become reality, where highly sophisticated technician, maintenance, and servant series robots work together to make your wildest dreams come true.
Take us both.
You can take risks, face danger, defy death, all in complete comfort and total safety. Safety, safety, safety.
You will never harm Delos.
They're duplicates.
You will do what Delos instructs you to do.
They're creating and programming duplicates of real people.
You will destroy your original.
I will destroy my original.
Peter Fonda, Blythe Danner, Arthur Hill, and Yul Brynner.
Even those of us who create them can't tell the original from the duplicate.
In Future World. If you can afford to go there, you're lucky. If you can't, you may be luckier than you think.
It was the scientific marvel of the century, a mighty juggernaut to blast through the solid rock of the Earth's mantle.
At a rate of 78 feet per minute.
4,000 miles into the heart of our planet.
We've been on top of the Earth long enough. It's about time we found out what's underneath. Loose cutters. Boosters activating now. Steady the throttles. Ready? Confounded contraptions.
Grand-scale adventure from the world's favorite writer of fascinating fiction, Edgar Rice Burroughs' At the Earth's Core, the astounding discovery of a strange, forbidding land.
Only seen it before in fossilized form.
A primeval nightmare world whose shadows hid the nameless terrors that were yet to come.
Take care of yourself, David!
Humans of another age, chained in bondage by an army of ape men, preyed upon by monstrous giants.
Now I fear that Hooja, the sly one, will lead Jubal, the ugly one, back here.
I heard about him.
David, he will kill you.
What him, David?
Behind a barrier of molten lava, an empire of evil. An inferno ruled by winged creatures like guardians of the gates of hell. A host of Satans, nourished by the flesh of sacrificial maidens. Starring Doug McClure, Peter Cushing, Caroline Munro. Take the most terrifying journey of your life. Edgar Rice Burroughs' At the Earth's Core.
Paris. On a quiet street, in an old building, a dead woman's vacant apartment is waiting. Waiting for the tenant. Roman Polanski is the tenant. In Chinatown, he exposed the dark side of corruption. In Repulsion, he explored a warped mind. In Rosemary's Baby, he examined the occult. Now, the tenant, something altogether new, altogether chilling. No one does it to you like Roman Polanski. Lieutenant, a Roman Polanski film, coming from Paramount Pictures.
Jenkins, age 19, brutally attacked March 3rd, 1946. Howard W. Turner, 29. Emmylou Cook, 17. Bodies discovered in a wooded area on March 24th. Roy Allen, 17. Peggy Loomis, 15. Both found dead April 14th in Spring Lake Park. Floyd Reed, age 34. Murdered in his home on May 3rd. Mrs. Reed shot twice, but survived. This man's identity is unknown. He was believed to be between 30 and 40 years old. He wore a white hood and was known only as the Phantom Killer. World War II had just ended. In Texarkana, Arkansas, boys had come home to their families. Husbands reunited with their wives. It was a happy, peaceful time. Until the Phantom Killer struck. For 4 months, he held an entire city in the icy grip of terror. Now, Charles B. Pierce brings this incredible, shocking, and true story to the screen in The Town That Dreaded Sundown, starring Academy Award winner Ben Johnson as Captain J.D. Morales of the Texas Rangers.
We got a cold-blooded killer here. A man who nobody sees. A phantom who, so far, hasn't made any mistakes.
Andrew Prine as Deputy Norman Ramsey of the Texarkana Sheriff's Department.
The only thing we really do know is that we've got a very strange person on our hands.
The Town That Dreaded Sundown, a true story.
My name is Martin. I'm 84 years old. People think I'm crazy when I tell them how old I am. I'd like to be normal. I just have a sickness. The only way I can survive is by drinking blood. It's not easy living the way I do. I have to be careful all the time. But I'm pretty good at it. I think as I get older, I get better. I haven't been caught yet.
Martin, another kind of terror.
See, people don't understand what's wrong. They think that I'm a monster. They think I'm a vampire. People don't realize that those things they see in the movies are not real. I don't have a whole lot of women. It's nice to watch them. I watch them a lot all the time. I have to be sure that nothing goes wrong. I follow them. I plan. I'm very careful. I have needles now. I can use them. I can put them to sleep. And it doesn't hurt.
Martin, another kind of terror.
I would like to be like everyone else. I have to do things that I don't necessarily like to do, but I want to stay alive. I do need blood.
From the director of Night of the Living Dead,
Martin. Untied Terror. Brooke Shields in Holy Terror. Alice was too old to play with dolls and too young to make love. Brooke Shields, as you've never seen her before. She was too beautiful to play with boys and too young to play with men. So Alice began to play with death.
She's made repeated requests that the kid see a psychiatrist.
She has a knack of making things look like accidents.
It's dead! It's dead! He tried to kill me!
No more dolls, no more toys. Alice only plays with bodies. It's too late to save her. A story of unnatural love and unnatural death. Brooke Shields in Holy Terror. It's too late for prayers.
Island of Death. On a peaceful Spanish island, a terrifying nightmare turns your world upside down, and it becomes hard to distinguish evil from innocence. On the Island of Death.
It all began as a summer vacation. A young family found a beautiful old house. It had secluded, spacious grounds, a large swimming pool, magnificent furnishings.
So you are the people who want to rent this house?
What do you mean it's $900 and then it's all ours?
Well, if there is one other thing, it's hardly a catch.
They thought it was the answer to their dreams, but it was the beginning of a nightmare. In this old house, up this staircase, behind this locked door, something lives. Something strange. Something powerful. Something evil.
Stay away from the door!
It will possess this woman. It will destroy this man. It will terrify this child. And no one can stop it. Burnt Offerings, starring Karen Black.
Are you actually trying to tell me that this house is responsible?
Oliver Reed.
This house is destroying us.
Betty Davis.
This house is getting so cold.
Burgess Meredith.
And this house will be here long, long after you have departed, you believe me?
Eileen Heckard.
God, when it comes alive, tell them about it. Tell them what it's like.
Behind this door lies a horror beyond imagination. Who is it? Where did it come from? What does it want? When you find out, it will be too late. Burnt Offerings.
It was a violent summer storm. Millions of volts slashed the earth.
That was the worst storm we've had since I was knee-high to a duck.
Folks talked about it and started getting things back to normal. When Mick hit town for his vacation.
Well, it's straight ahead about 5 miles.
But things weren't normal. There were changes.
Oh, Mother bit me. I never saw him bite like that.
Strange, frightful changes. That night, it all started.
Stop doing that.
I'm not doing anything.
This was the night of the crawling terror. American International presents Squirm. They came from everywhere. Millions of writhing, seething creatures oozing out of the mire to feed on human flesh. You sweat, but you don't dare move.
Oh, no.
Terror grips every nerve in your body. You want to scream, but you can't. Your heart beats so fast, it feels like it's going to burst.
Jerry?
Squirm, a new experience in pure fright.
This motion picture does not cater to fantasy. You will see nature's most savage man-eating animal. By its size alone, it can overpower and devour any human. Grizzly.
Hey, you got your head in the sand. We got a killer grizzly on our hands.
Scott, you're a maniac. Always we're running around in costumes. There are no grizzlies.
Let's go, Scott.
Over 18 feet tall, over 2,000 pounds, the largest carnivorous ground beast in the world.
June?
Grizzly. Anyone is fair game, because this grizzly preys on the easiest food of all, man.
Listen, campers come in here, they leave food around, the bears get the smell of it, and that's it.
Well, this is different. This bum's eating his victims.
It's not just a camping ground, it's a feeding ground, and no one is safe. Any man, any woman, any child can be stalked by the most massive, foul-tempered, dangerous flesh-eater of all, grizzly.
That thing seems to know what we're thinking.
The grizzly is an animal, Kelly. Don't give it human qualities.
See, he doesn't understand that we're dealing with a highly intelligent beast.
When I finish with you, there's not going to be anybody there waiting to shake your greasy, bloody hand. You are finished. Dismissed. Removed. Up yours.
18 feet of man-eating, gut-crunching terror. The deadliest jaws on land belong to grizzly.
After H.G. Wells' first novel, The Time Machine, predicted total destruction by nuclear warfare, the first atomic bomb was detonated. 71 years after his book, First Men in the Moon, another H.G. Wells prediction came true.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In other books, he predicted ray guns, sonic signaling devices, radio signals bouncing from planet to planet, all realities now. But where does fiction end and reality begin? are the dreaded fire ants from Africa, a warning of H.G. Wells' vision of nature run amok. Do the killer bees of South America give us a hint of the shape of things to come? In one of his most fantastic books, The Food of the Gods, Wells predicted what could happen in an ecology gone berserk, transforming harmless insects and animals into huge and vicious beasts, preying on the flesh of humans.
They're out there, all over the place. Big rats. Everywhere. Come on!
The food of the gods. Imagine a rooster 6 feet tall. Swarms of hawk-sized wasps and panther-sized rats hunting humans in packs. Now, American International Pictures brings this most incredible H.G. Wells science fiction classic to the screen, The Food of the Gods.
Mrs. Skinner, how did your husband happen to feed it to the chickens? Well, when we found out it weren't no oil, there was nothing to do about it, so we fed it to the chicks.
I'm way ahead of you, kid. I'm going to take this stuff and have it converted to plant food.
Well, and you're going to feed all the big animals with big pests.
Right on. And within 5 years, hunger will be a thing of the past.
If I told you how I felt right now, you'd think I was crazy.
Tell me.
I want you to make love to me. It is crazy, isn't it, at a time like this?
Will H.G. Wells' most frightening prediction in The Food of the Gods also prove accurate? Think about it.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon. Will you be ready?
You asked me to notify you if any more of the cattle were killed. Larry Ludicky just called, and he's had it with these killings.
Well, it's not coyotes.
Wolves, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Starting last month, some cattle were killed. They belong to Larry Ludicky. Now he's been killed.
And you know who did it?
No. And it's not a who, it's a what. I think something is causing domestic dogs to pack and attack people. Don't mind. As the president of this college, you have the responsibility of the lives of everyone here. 2 people have been killed already. One of them a student.
By what? It's terrible, yes, but you have no evidence it was done by dog.
The hell is that?
What's that noise? Let's get out of here.
It happened once. It could happen again. It could happen where you live. Will you be ready for dogs?
You are witnessing an experiment in parapsychology. Some call it the science of the future. Others denounce it, along with ESP, clairvoyance, and reincarnation. But it is perhaps the only help left to protect this woman and her family from the possessive nightmare of her own premonitions.
How do you account for it?
According to the present laws of physical science, I couldn't.
She says it did happen.
Yes. And other equally inexplicable events may occur as well.
Turn on the light.
Miles, please.
The Premonition, inspired by insanity and hatred.
Lucia, this is Andrea.
Who?
Janie's real mother.
Oh my God, no! Get down, Janie! Get down! Get down, Janie!
Look, honey, let's just get out of here, will you? This place belongs to somebody. We can't come in here and look on this lake like this. Come on.
There's death. There's death in this lake.
Hatred that will not die, even after death. The premonition is so real, you'll sense it, feel it, see it. Or will you? And all you may have to fear is that you can lose your mind.
This is beauty. This is the beast. Descend with them into a world of terror.
Give me one of those pills.
Bradley, your daddy is dead, which is what I'm celebrating tonight.
I wonder why he hated you so much.
I do the devil's work. I change the faces that God intended. I cater to man's vanity and to his lust. God, look out!
Girl you just brought in. What do you think happened to her?
She looks like somebody worked her over and tried to destroy her face.
They succeeded.
The rest of your face is mostly silicone, solid and liquid.
Ever since you started these operations, there has been something going on in your head, and it ain't medical.
How would you like to have this face?
What the hell for?
The $2.5 million be sufficient incentive.
I want no trouble.
Not gonna be any trouble. Look, I can teach you everything you need to know. I mean, her mannerisms. I got tape recordings of Heather's voice. She'll study photographs of the family. Anyway, and you're only gonna have to impersonate her twice.
Heather!
Hello, cousin Margaret.
Who'd have thought you'd come back looking so beautiful?
Don't come back at all.
And you have yet to introduce me to your little friend.
All right, Heather, this is Jane. Jane is Heather.
Jane what? Doe. Jane Doe. Has it ever occurred to you what fun we could have with my daddy? She knows, doesn't she, Philip?
I didn't ask him how he's going to do it. I told him it's going to be fast and it's going to be painless.
You too will feel the cutting edge of terror in Scalpel. Don't let Dr. Reynolds get his hands on you.
The evil power of black magic has fascinated millions of moviegoers. In 1967, Rosemary's Baby. In 1974, The Exorcist. And now, a motion picture that probes further into the mysteries of the occult that any has dared before.
98% of so-called Satanists are nothing but pathetic freaks who get their kicks out of dancing naked in freezing churchyards. I have a feeling I'm dealing with that other 2%.
Richard Widmark challenges Christopher Lee for the soul of a girl named Catherine in the terrifying film of Dennis Wheatley's sensational bestseller, To the Devil, a Daughter.
Te adoro et te invoco.
They've got Catherine. And we've got to get her back before it's too late.
When this ceremony has been performed, I shall destroy you, John Burney.
The demons hate you, Raynor. They're waiting for you.
Catherine. You are warned. The full shock, the full satanic horror is yet to be revealed.
It's a me! Don't!
If you were one of the millions of moviegoers who were electrified by the unbearable suspense and sheer terror of Jaws, get ready for Eaten Alive. Created by Toby Hooper, maker of the screen sensation The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Marty Rustin presents a new horror classic, Eaten Alive. Into this house of terror comes a handful of unsuspecting innocents.
Hello?
What happens to these people in Eaten Alive will give you the most chilling, terrifying 90 minutes you ever spent in a theater.
No.
Marty Rustin presents Eaten Alive. Mel Ferrer, Carolyn Jones, Stuart Whitman, Neville Brand. Get ready for Eaten Alive, the new horror classic.
You'd be jeopardizing your career, your whole life. The results could be worth it. Nothing is worth going to jail for. I'm not asking for anything that has a chance for life on its own. 20 years' work is beginning to take shape.
The development rate is now approximately 1 year to each 24-hour period. February 16, 2 p.m. Rapid growth still uncontrolled. Rate now about 2 years for every 24-hour period. My God, will it ever end?
Her name is Victoria, and she has just been born.
8 and 8 are 16. 16 and 16 are 32. I want to learn, to experience. Will you teach me?
You're in pain. I'm here to help you, Victoria.
I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill. I just want to live.
On December 25th, 1953, a child is born, a virgin birth. Tomorrow, all civilization will tremble under his almighty power. He must be obeyed.
Who were? Moses and Jesus, really. Accept me, no questions. Sacrifices to your God are nothing new.
Are you going to tell me all those people were meant to die?
Why did you attack all those people?
God told me to.
God told me to.
This is Rattlers, a nightmare of horrors.
Get out of here!
This is Rattlers, a tale of terror. This is Rattlers. What a way to die. Rattlers. Thrills, excitement, death. Rattlers. Striking soon. Rated PG.
Man has turned his back on the supernatural. Yet unexplainable phenomena continue to threaten the unsuspecting mind and penetrate the veil of reason. Some will deny it. Others will fear it. One man was born with it. Shadow of the Hawk.
The Hawk. My spirit alive. He protects me.
He has existed since the beginning of time. For centuries, he has practiced the mysterious arts. He is the shaman, the medicine man, and his power is awesome.
Last night I woke out of a sound sleep and I was choking.
Jan Michael Vincent, as a modern American Indian, thrust into a savage struggle with primitive forces he never knew existed. Marilyn Hassett, star of The Other Side of the Mountain, as a reporter, victimized by her curiosity. Chief Dan George is the shaman, seeking the only person he can trust to inherit his powers. The unknown, like the night, contains mystery, horror, and the dark shadow that lurks in our subconscious memories. Shadow of the Hawk. Innocent people, trapped in a nightmare from which they cannot awaken, tormented by the passion of avenging spirits. Pray it doesn't happen to you. Jan Michael Vincent, Marilyn Hassett, and Chief Dan George in Shadow of the Hawk.
is a foolish superstition that some objects possess powers beyond anything human.
Thanks.
A foolish superstition. A strange force operating in the head of a killer dog, wreaking vengeance and death on the road.
And this word, she kept repeating this word. What word? I'm not sure. I was so frightened. Something like Oxa.
A car driven by revenge. The power of a woman whose mind is possessed.
Say it. Pixacasa. Something wrong, Dr. Martin?
No, I've just heard that word before. What's it mean?
All I can tell you is he's an unpleasant character dedicated to vengeance, hatred, and violence. It's really an occult matter, Dr. Martin.
A trail of splintered steel and shattered glass. Bloody bodies strewn across the landscape. Evil screaming down the highway.
Wasn't it? You did it.
There is a foolish superstition that some objects possess power beyond anything human. A foolish superstition? Escape from the power of the occult. Stalking like a hunter, it finds its prey. Where death is in the driver's seat.
And on the night of the full moon, the howl of the werewolf will be heard. Its terrible cry will make men tremble. They will close their shutters and bolt their doors. Then the werewolf will begin searching for food, tearing to pieces whomever crosses its path.
You liked Fabian, didn't you? Sure you did.
In all probability, the victim's death was caused by massive hemorrhaging with consequent hypovolemical shock. The lacerations and deep wounds around her throat are almost of an animalistic origin, but it's uncertain.
Uncertain? Like that of an animal?
Daniela, darling, where have you been? I've been worried. Where have you gone?
I love a man, and he's making me very happy. And so you mustn't be worried. I'm so much in love.
See if you're a good lady. Yeah, show us how you... Come here, you bitch! You bitch! I'm afraid Danielle is terribly ill. Incurably, Inspector.
Well, unfortunately, I have a duty to perform. I have to find her before she can do any more harm.
I knew it. I heard it all. My sister Daniela, she murdered Fabian.
Terror and suspense as you face the jaws of death. Here is the story of a man determined to stop the killing of sharks.
You didn't catch this shark. Sure I did.
Alone, he dares defend man's most dreaded enemy, destroying all who defied his warnings.
Well, they can't go ahead and just kill all the sharks because they don't understand them. Now, can they? They'd put a bounty on them.
In a moment of danger, deadly sharks once saved his life. Now he lives and kills as one of them. Blood brother in a mysterious shark cult.
You don't have to be afraid of any shark when you're with me.
And now, without further delay, I'm proud to present the Aquamaids Real Live. Hurry!
Here is sheer terror. Unforgettable action, captured with some of the most daring underwater photography ever brought to the motion picture screen. Stark, chilling realism that plunges you into a twilight world of thrashing danger. Filmed without the benefit of cages, mechanical sharks, or other protective devices. A unique adventure that thrusts you into the jaws of death. This man and this woman are off to play house for a couple of days. He's a wealthy bachelor. She's a beautiful model. They're looking forward to a terrific time. The only trouble is, they're going to spend it in the house by the lake. A 200-year-old mansion surrounded by acres of woods and crystal blue water. An isolated hideaway, miles from anywhere and anyone. But that's where the beauty ends and the nightmare begins.
Surprise!
The house by the lake. A house of secrets. A house of evil. A house of pain. A house of death.
My God, what's happening?
The house by the lake. Inhabited by a power that enslaves all who enter and drives them to acts of unspeakable horror. The House by the Lake. Grand prize winner at the International Terror Film Festival. Starring Brenda Vaccaro and Don Stroud. A film scene you'll run from the theater in fright. The House by the Lake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bloodiest thing that ever happened in front of a camera. Snuff. This is the true story of 4 innocent young actresses who thought they were making just another movie, but didn't know they were making the ultimate movie.
You will feel the pain, and you will not flinch from it.
Snuff, the film that could only be made in South America, where life is cheap. Snuff, the bloodiest thing that ever happened in front of a camera. Snuff.
To all the world, this is the face of a child of innocence and beauty. But behind this sweet mask of purity, there dwells a tormented mind, filled with the most horrifying imagination. A mind bent and twisted, seething and crying out for revenge as she sends her playmates, the deadly tarantula, out to execute her insane desires for death. What made this child send her own mother to a terrifying end? Who are her friends? And who are her enemies? Why do these frightening creatures carry out her demented demands? And who is responsible for her bizarre fascination with the coffins of the dead? No one can escape from these horrors beyond imagination. No one can escape from the kiss of the tarantula.
On August 10th, in a California drive-in, it all began. It will grip you like nothing you have ever witnessed before. It is absolute and total horror.
Will you cut it out? Let me get...
Come on, Alan.
Sweetheart.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Alan. No, it's what? Come on.
Let me hear it.
Alan.
A psychotic killer is usually a man, driven by lust, by passion, and by hate. The time between each killing gets shorter.
Come on, please. She's dead.
For the psychotic killer still on the loose, the police chase every suspect in the city, but to no avail.
I haven't picked up a knife since the Carney closed. You used to be a sword swallower. Do you still have any of those blades?
Mr. Van Heusen lets me use his private collection.
and you were seen parked next to the victim's car.
You crawled out of your car to the victim's vehicle.
I don't know anything about that. Stand still now. Who's in there? Oh my God! Who's in there?
The fear that makes brave men run will freeze you in your seat, make your blood run cold, and finally make you scream in terror. Warning, drive-in massacre has been deemed too terrifying for the average viewer. The risk is entirely yours.
The days are short, and the nights are long and hot and sweaty. Gang wars.
Take your hand off.
Black gangs versus Puerto Rican gangs versus Chinese gangs. The sides are set. The street is the battleground. The fight is for control.
Real good. Let me go! Shut up. One word out of you, woman. One word!
5 murders in 3 days. 4 the subway.
So you do it your legal white way. I know who did this to my brother, and I'm gonna fix it.
Gang wars.
And I'm gonna do what's got to be done.
Gangs with cold steel nerves that cut through flesh like butter.
If any of these murders involve any of Rodin's people, there's gonna be a hell of a lot of trouble. I'll dance all over the goddamn place.
Look, Jim, you gotta bring some.
Gang wars. This is the inner city where crime is king and no one is safe, not even the criminals.
Looks like a lying gun.
A place the cops call the combat zone. Definitely off limits. The Puerto Ricans have it, the blacks want it, and the Chinese need it. These are the real armies of the night, and they mean business. A motion picture that will thrill and chill your soul. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Gang Wars, coming to this theater soon. Rated R.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Kick him in the... Go on. That's it. Below the belt. Hey!
In the latest pair of Jesus jeans, we could tour around the Philippines together.
Oh, Queenie. Crown jewels. How extravagant.
Since everything's
But it's definitely not my colour, love. Sorry.
It does have rather long toenails.
They are rather long, aren't they?
The ape has wiped out 1,000 years of English history.
And you would stop your yelling rape if I were just an ordinary household ape. We'd spend our nights in a grass shack.
Bernie Casey is Dr. Black.
Hiya, Doc. No, you can't try that serum on a human.
A monster he could not control had taken over his very soul. A screaming demon rages inside, turning him into Mr. Hyde.
This is no nightmare, Doctor. You're real.
Super strong, supernatural, and super bad.
That's a cross between the abominable snowman and Willie the werewolf.
Indestructible. Nothing can stop him. Not bombs, bullets, or bulldozers. No man alive could take that guy. But he's on his feet when he hits the street. Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. His victim thinks she's tricked him, but she hasn't a prayer when he leaps through the air. Shot full of lead and he still ain't dead.
In a moment, you look like me.
Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. Don't give him no sass or he'll kick your ass. Jump back, Jack, for your skull is cracked. The barflies are trying, but their bodies keep flying. The dude stood tall till his butt hit the wall. When the boys go rushing, Mr. Hyde starts crushing. The crowd is hushing as the blood comes gushing.
Just stand there like a bunch of dumbasses. Get in!
There's a heel behind the wheel when Hyde takes his ride. No man can survive when he shifts into drive. It ain't no jive trying to stay alive. Silky won't revive from his final nosedive.
Brother man, this situation is rapidly becoming insalubrious, meaning we're about to stomp a mud hole in your ass.
From the first burst to the last blast, it's Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde, starring Bernie Casey, Rosalind Cash, Stu Gillum, directed by William Blackula Crane. Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde.
Very soon there will be nothing between you and the people who own the dark. The people who own the dark. Inside a secluded executive retreat, the world's most respected men prepare for a weekend that promises every earthly pleasure.
If during, before, or after dinner, one of the guests should feel the desire to commit lustful acts with any of the young women, the latter shall submit to it. But the satisfaction of this desire shall be performed in the presence of all the other guests.
While outside, in their own world of darkness, they gather. Drawn by the scent of the living, they prepare for a night of unearthly horror. people who own the dark.
See 10 tons of animal fury leap from the screen.
Hey, look!
See Ape. See Giant Ape defy Jaw Shark. See Giant Ape vanquish Monster Reptile. See Ocean Liner demolished. See Metropolis fight to survive flaming holocaust. See helpless beauty in embrace of 36-foot monster. See Ape in 3D.
You really believe there's a creature?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do.
Creature from Black Lake is coming to a theater near you. A Jim McCullough production, rated PG.
Trouble coming. It's JD's revenge.
Listen, man, ain't nothing wrong with my soul.
There was a real mean killing, and the wrong guy died. They buried his body, but his soul survived. For JD's revenge.
Lately, I've been getting these headaches, you know. I've never felt this lost before in my life.
You beat me up. Ike,
I don't remember doing any of those things. Maybe something is happening to me.
The reincarnation of a killer who came back from the dead to possess a man's soul, make love to his woman, and get the vengeance he craves.
I'm flipping out.
You're my baby sister, Betty Joe. You my baby sister, Betty Joe. They are my enemies.
They my enemies.
There's one weird nigger.
I mean, I'm cracking up, man. I blacked out.
Glenn Turman, the star of Cooley High.
What in the world have you done to yourself?
I ain't seen a get up like that in 25 years.
Yeah.
Joan Pringle.
Well, my business is where? Theotis.
Lou Gossett.
There is no danger, Theotis.
This nigga's crazy.
I'm the craziest nigga you ever gonna meet. Yeah.
He wasn't himself.
Don't nobody talk to me like that.
He turned into this monster, a whole other person.
Scared of your daddy.
There is something wrong with Ike. Tonight he kept saying he was this J.D. Walker.
J.D. Walker's been dead for over 30 years.
It's J.D. Walker.
What the hell do you mean J.D. Walker is back? This boy is possessed by the spirit of J.D. Walker.
So you're a jackleg preacher now, Elijah.
J.D.'s voice.
There's that good for nothing brother of yours.
And his manner.
I got Story Center with him.
You were possessed.
You just killed Betty Joe.
40 years later, on someone else's face, you can see J.D. Walker's hatred. Time just won't erase J.D.'s revenge.
I'll have my revenge.
Death machines, one step into the future, where murder is no longer a crime, only a job.
What are you doing? George,
Number 621, program destroy. Number 235, program kill. Number 447, program eliminate. Death machines, a motion picture odyssey into a terrifying world. Killers without minds, death without reason. Death machines, tomorrow is here, and the killers of the future are ready now.
The foreboding mansion of a dead silver screen beauty is a backdrop for supernatural intrigue.
I didn't expect you this early.
I thought I knew what to expect. But I never thought it would be like this.
The legendary Lorna Love, seductive and evil.
Mr. Carroll, my father.
He was the only one that had the strength to walk away from her while he was still a whole human being. You know what he told her? She had no soul except the one he gave her when he did that painting of her.
The past is enshrined forever.
Can you believe that?
Incredible. Hey, come on, let's get out of here.
And unworldly spirits still remain. Passion and obsession clouding the mind.
I want to be alone with you, Joel. Joel. Something's happening that I don't understand. Something that you don't understand. She's evil.
Stop it.
And this house is rotten with her memory.
Stop it.
There are no boundaries for reality.
Joel, stop! It's me! Stop!
Who are you? What do you want?
Robert Wagner, Kate Jackson, and John Carradine try to unravel the dark truths in Death at Love House.
They told us death was the ultimate horror. They were wrong. Yet who would have predicted that dreadful day, how far I might have to go?
I'll see you in hell!
I don't care. The only thing you'd better discover is a way to get rid of those people.
Wait a minute. This isn't the way to Disneyland. You're heading toward the ocean.
Catherine, no more!
Daddy, I love you.
Well, that's most of us are violent. Oh, please, people.
Let me go. Let me go.
No! Everything's been removed. The entire eyeball.
Then you know my word. Why did you lie? Why?
you watch, some you feel. You'll feel Mansion of the Doomed.